So I went to work yesterday. I went to work today. They tried to force me to do 3 hours overtime today. I'm like, no, you can hear my voice is sick. Definitely plays to the advantage when you're talking to the boss. Like, I can't be making this voice up. Why would I sound like this? I want to sound different than this. I do not recommend this virus to anybody, and from what I've heard at work, it is going around. It saps your strength. I know the flu does this. This is like the flu times 10. I have never been this achy. I've got a dodgy hip. I've got a knee bugging me. Calves are bugging. Like, ketchup.
What?
Ketchup.
Yeah.
What do you guys eat?
I gave the burritos and ketchup on.
Oh, okay. All right.
I just put that back.
Oh, okay. He's got a friend over, and I'm like, ketchup. The hell's going on in there? Because I didn't remember he took any food in there, so I'm like, wait, why is there ketchup? That's the cough I've been doing all day. Okay? My throat has something it wants to show me, and the rest of my body's saying no. I want to be able to sleep tonight. No, I'm pretty sure at some point I'm going to cough up Slimer, and I'm how the horrible remake of Ghostbusters will begin. Now, this is a hockey video. I got my Nordiques, I got my Scouts, I got 2 defunct teams going on. Oh, these guys moved to Colorado? No, they died when they went to Denver. The Nordiques died. So when people see this and go, yeah, I'm an Avalanche fan too, I'm like, no, I'm a Nordiques fan, not an Avs fan. Now, what I've learned with this virus, it responds to anger. The funny thing is, I get to work yesterday, pissed off. I'm going somewhere sports related with this, don't worry. And there's one person I just want to put you right here. I'll walk away. And I realized that when I got angry with said person, I felt better. I was like, huh, hate is power. I think I just turned to the dark side. I've been thinking about that today too. Like, every time it started dragging me down and I feel lethargic again, I just go, no, fuck you. And I get really, I think it's funny because I always hear people saying, stay positive, stay happy. You know the people. You know those people. And they'll end up in a shrink someday because it doesn't work. I don't think you have to stay happy. I think you have to tell everything to fuck off. And then you're happy. Okay. Sports related. Why I don't like Joe Thornton. Joe Thornton, I realize is well respected now. But I've never had a whole lot of use for Joe Thornton. And when I watched him knock Crosby's helmet off the other night and get away with it, I remembered what that is. And it brought me to another point. And I thought about this at work today, and I'm like, I can't laugh because I'm by myself. If I go, like, with this sheeny glow here, this shiny, not sheeny. God, Shannon, now you're against the Jews. Okay, no. It's terrible. I'm shining. Can I not sweat because I haven't had enough to drink? But no, that Joe Thornton does that kind of shit drives me insane. And I've heard people say, oh, he's so calm and cool, and he's Jumbo Joe, and he's look how cool he is here, and it's like, well, wait for it. Eventually he'll pull some dickhead move. Crosby has grown up. Crosby has, and in that moment he showed it. He took numerous shots to the head, didn't look to the referee for a call. He had kind of a look in his eyes like, are you fucking serious? But he didn't look for a call. Not once. But this is why I go nuts when people talk about what a great leader Joe Thornton is. If he was a great leader, he'd still be the captain. If San Jose had been so sold on how great Joe Thornton was compared to Pavelski, I love Pavelski. Pavelski plays the game right. Thornton's one of these guys, and he's a lot older than Crosby, so he should be more mature, but he isn't. Sending a message, and it's something in hockey, maybe that's why I'm doing a throwback in terms of my hat and my jersey today. And it's 30 degrees out, it's fucking hot out, it's hard to wear a jersey in this weather. But I'm doing it to make a point. Sending a message. 5 minutes left in the game, you lose 5-1. Series is going to be tied at 2. You're going to their barn. They got all the momentum. Man, you got to send a message. Or you're just going to punch them in the back of the head when they don't expect it. I don't know that I've ever heard a post-game interview after a Game 5 where somebody said, that game-winning goal you scored tonight, how did that happen? Oh, Game 4, when Joe Thornton punched that guy in the back of the head, that was totally awesome. That's why I scored tonight. Or the guy Joe Thornton punched in the head, he was the defenseman on me. He totally backed down because he saw Joe Thornton around and he thought he might get punched in the head again. It was so funny. No. These are professional sports players. And I thought about other sports. And it's like, okay, so let's take this to other sports. Golf. Justin Spieth, 18th hole, he's up by 6. Out of nowhere, you hear some kind of a cry, some kind of a battle scream, and McAvoy out of nowhere, boom, right across the back with the fucking 1 wood. Take that, bitch. See you next week. And then when they ask him, he goes, I'm just sending a message. I'm back next week. He may have won this one, but I'm back next week. Tennis. Serena Williams lost today. Sad. She didn't climb over the net and pummel the winner to the mat to send a message for the next tournament rather than shake her hand. And I think this sending a message thing in sports is another way of saying poor sportsmanship. I've seen the Canucks do it. I'm not, as a Canucks fan, I'm not saying the Canucks don't do it. They do. So do the Bruins. Most teams do it on some level. But I can't remember seeing Detroit do it very often. Once you got Probert and the boys out of there anyways. Once some of their nastier bottom 6 got out of there. But I just don't understand, because if you beat a guy up, does it really swing momentum? I mean, if Thornton grabs Crosby and wrenches him and puts him face first into the glass, concusses him, and he's out for the rest of the series, he sent a message and changed the momentum of the entire series. The last I saw, that same game, Crosby won the game by calling that game-winning goal. And Crosby downplayed it, but honestly, that play call was so cool and amazing and perfect. Crosby has become one of my all-time favorite players, just based on that play call. Because he gave the puck to Connor Sheary. He gave the puck to a kid who nobody'd heard of before the playoffs, because he knew the kid would hit that goal. He has an innate ability to tell where his teammates are in terms of their game, their focus, and their ability. And that's why Pittsburgh's up 2-0. This isn't a talent thing. San Jose's right there with them. This is a intelligence to know exactly when and where to strike, and with who. And Pittsburgh is using their unknown guns so far. They haven't won a game in San Jose, and until you win a game on the road, it's a saw-off. But I'm pulling for Pittsburgh. I've made no secret of that. I don't like San Jose. And my hatred for Joe Thornton comes down to just that kind of thing. And I know when he's been in Vancouver, the games he's played against the Canucks, where I've just looked at him and it's like, you got this whole attitude, like you don't want to, the Vancouver's not worth your time, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's just got this attitude about him. And I don't like it. And it's a shame because I like Martin Jones. I love Brent Burns. I do. I think Brent Burns is a fantastic player and he plays on the edge. But it's different. It for whatever reason, it doesn't aggravate me. Couture sometimes aggravates me, usually because he scores a key goal against a team I'm cheering for. Be Vancouver, Dallas, or Boston. Take your pick. It's one of the three. And playing the part of Beetlejuice will be Logan Couture because he's on my TV right now. 15 games at the point in the playoffs, most in the NHL. Yes. Does he have the most points? No. Doesn't really matter. The leading point getters are all eliminated right now. Phil Kessel's the highest point getter left in the playoffs. I think when your highest point getter in the playoffs is Phil Kessel, I think that's when you just stop taking stats. I think that's when everybody just goes drinking. They're like, wait, the Conn Smythe leader technically could be who? Drinks are on me. We're going. I don't care if the game's on in 10 minutes. We're going to the pub. We just figured out that Phil Kessel realistically could get a Conn Smythe. All he'd need is like a 3-point game tonight, and then he'd be a front runner, wouldn't he? Pittsburgh has had such an even team run. And I think back to, it's hard to find a team to think of like that. A couple of Blackhawks teams where it was hard to pick a winner. I would say Boston, because in terms of when Boston won in 2011, it was a different hero every night in terms of the goal. But in goal, Tim Thomas was unstoppable. Then he opened his mouth and became a complete douchebag. And I hated him after that. And I went from being the biggest Tim Thomas supporter to just hating him and wanting him out of Boston immediately. You toolbag. You could tell his teammates were like, wait a minute. We did this as a team. He's making everything about him. He doesn't want to go to the White House because he doesn't like President Obama. Get the fuck over it. This is a team function at the White House. I don't think the NRA is going to take away your card-carrying membership for being seen in the White House with Obama. I think they'll handle it. I don't get it. Tim Thomas basically destroyed his career because he sat out the next year and then he came back the year after, but he was in Florida. Played okay. Florida wasn't a great team. Then Luongo gets traded to Florida, makes some jokes about, I wonder if Timmy and I are going to share a locker, blah, blah, blah. Thomas is traded immediately. Which tells me two things. They really wanted Luongo, and they really wanted to get rid of Timmy. And they knew the two of them couldn't share his locker stall. And I remember that final. I remember both sides of the argument where Luongo, I don't remember what it was. Luongo said something along the lines of, I can't get praised even once. And Thomas wants all this and all this whatever. And Thomas just treated it like Luongo wanted to be worshipped. And it's like, no, that's not what he said. I want to say something about bootstraps, but again, my brain isn't working very well with this flu, having been having at me for a long time. And I am now drinking Diet A&W. I've had a week without caffeine. I'm certain that some of the headaches I was having was because I was without caffeine. I'm not opposed to caffeine, but it's out of my system, and I'm probably not bringing it back. Because I'm now at a stage in my life where I can go to sleep pretty much whenever I want. I can get into grandpa mode and just lay down and go to sleep. And after everything I read about energy drinks, that killed energy drinks for me. And then the whole week I was sick where all it said was avoid caffeine. Avoid caffeine. Avoid caffeine. And I'm like, I can't drink it. And then I tried Diet Coke the night and it tastes terrible. I came home with a 12-pack of these today. And new pillows for Noah and I to celebrate not being sick at this stage. We're not as sick as I was. And I don't want to have that ugly pillow anymore because, no. And I need a new pillow every now and then. Everybody does. It's like a new woman. You need new. I'm just 8 woman wouldn't be bad though. There was one at work today that she made the mistake of saying, "So you finally hit puberty because of the way my voice is." And I normally would just let that slide and just, oh yeah, that's funny. I was like, "Baby, you want to find out? Come on over here. I'll show you. Come on, we'll have some fun. You can tell the kids. Come on, let's go." And then she's like shaking her head and walking away. I'm like, "Come on, baby. Come on, this will be fun." This illness has unlocked a side of me that's been locked away for a long time for a reason. And she's the only person at work I would ever talk to that way. And I have been so good for so long. And it just came out. I haven't talked to her like that at work in years. And it was just the whole, he finally hit puberty. And I was in front of people. So I'm like, "You're fucking dragging me down a notch. You know what, baby? I'll show you. I just hit puberty. Come on, let's go. I'll show you puberty." Bullshit. Thomas Hurdle's out tonight for the San Jose Sharks. I want to hit that too. Not a big loss, and I don't say that because Hurdle's not a good player. I say it because the game San Jose plays, they can plug another guy in there, and they're not going to miss him. They play a 4-line game. DeBoer's a fantastic coach, brilliant at line matching, and that's why I'm not counting San Jose out in this series. You have to win one in the Shark Tank. And while in the playoffs, that used to be kind of a gimme, before this year it was a gimme. It's a real challenge right now. $10 million for decent tickets. Oh shit. Anyways, sorry, if you want to pay that for going to a hockey game, for $10 million, I'd expect a lot more than a hockey game. I might expect that girl from work to. No. I did offer to take her on a private cruise of some fantastic Caribbean island at some point if I won the lottery. And then I casually threw in, "You would have to put out, though." It's kind of sort of a unsigned, unagreed. We don't have to speak about it, but it's kind of agreed quietly what you'd have to put out. She just laughed and said, "You're really upfront, aren't you?" I'm like, "Well, yeah. But I haven't been that way for a long time." Maybe this illness is, but maybe it was the caffeine was repressing that. Maybe that's what happened. But my hatred and anger seem to make this virus go away, or at least make it less strong. So fuck you, virus. And I figure that Joe Thornton should make me feel great tonight, because I think he's probably going to have a monster game now that I've said what I've said about him. But I don't like Thornton's game. I'm not a fan of Marleau. Marleau just kind of floats around. I know he's playing well this playoffs, but he's a floater. And he's a floater who's played enough games in the NHL that eventually, by the laws of averages, you will win. Eventually, Andreychuk won. And Andreychuk was a damn good player, but he didn't win the cup when he was a damn good player. He won it when he was on a damn good team. And if Marleau wins it this year, he's not going to win when he's a damn good player. He's going to win it when he's on a damn good team. I don't even know if Marleau's ever been a really damn good player. I remember at one point, San Jose had him on the trade block, and there was talk of him coming to Vancouver. I'm like, holy fuck, we don't want him. Oh, God, no. Please, no. And it would just... Again, those are 2 big blocks of San Jose. Maybe when those blocks retire, maybe my feeling about the Sharks changes. Because I love their Stadium Club jersey from last year. Absolutely love it. I love the simplicity of their logo. I love just the name Sharks is fantastic. It's easy. It brings across everything in one word. Fantastic. Unlike Nordiques. Nobody really knew what a Nordique was outside of Quebec. The Nords, and then the stick, and the igloo, and the puck, and it just seemed weird. It just seemed kind of a little weird. And then you got the fleur-de-lis on both sleeves, and along the bottom. Because it's in Quebec, so you gotta let everybody know. It always seemed weird to me. It'd be like having a Canadian flag on the Montreal Canadiens jersey on both sleeves, and then all the way around you have little Canadian flags all the way around. And it would look really silly. But since the fleur-de-lis doesn't look silly, it actually means that even though this jersey is basically the Quebec flag with the weird logo put on the front, it's still fantastic. It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. So anyways, before I say anything that's going to get me into trouble, oh God, what's Don Cherry wearing? Is that just flowers, or is that like some... The fuck's on his tie? It looks like the Tin Man underneath a rose. Like, it just... Seriously, if anybody's watching it can tell me that doesn't look like the face of the Tin Man right in the middle of his chest. I always thought the shark mouth looked goofy. Alright, let's go through the opening. Oh, they're not going to show them at the ice. Oh, great. That's going to get me copyright. Thanks, Sharks. I love Seek and Destroy too, but... Alright, I don't want to get copyright violations on my video. I love Seek and Destroy. I love the smoke. I love everything they're doing here. I love the phones. Here's that damn Marlowe floating around. Getting ready for the game when he's going to float around. There's probably guys out there telling him, hey, Patrick, can you slow down? You're already at your game speed. You'd be like, what? And Joe Thornton will be like, don't listen to them, man. You're beautiful. Amazing. The shark head is very cool. I cannot complain. That kid is amazing. Nerves of steel. Matt Murray's got nerves of steel. Pressure on that kid to win in Pittsburgh. Oh my God. There's Couture, who honestly is one of the best power forwards in the game. Joel Ward, one of the most underrated players, even if he is one of the most overpaid. You can be both. I just mean in terms of what Joel Ward brings to a team, it's underrated. Can't be measured with money. See, there's cops coming. They know I'm doing a CBC re-deal thing. Oh, there's Malkin. Let's see if he wakes up. Kunitz, who looked good in the last game, and Crosby. He tells the MC what's going to happen. Okay, the digital sharks on the ice, that'd be kind of nauseating if you're there, I would think. But very cool effect. I cannot complain about that effect. The Sharks put on a premium show. It is absolutely one of the best shows. The Canucks, I think it's so steeped in legacy and then Marcus Naslund that they don't really, I don't know, maybe when the Sedins retire, they'll try something brand new and revamp everything, but I don't know, it just feels so reserved and different in Vancouver. Just the presentation, not the fans. Don't get mad at me about the fans. Oh, those pictures beside the TV, I have no idea where those came from. Amber Lancaster on the right, and Zoe Deschanel on the left. Alright, did they stop playing music? You have to expect that. Underrated. He has actually been very good for them. And that's why he's underrated, because he's been covering up for all of Letang's mistakes. He makes plenty. That's why you have a defensive defenseman with an offensive defenseman. Who can hate on Matt Murray?
The starting lineups for the Western Conference champions. Your San Jose Sharks.
Not my San Jose Sharks. They didn't win my conference. My NHL 16 foul, the Canucks are still on a roll. I've got an NHL 16 foul where the Stars are on a roll. So, sorry. Best coach in the game right now. The fuck's that guy doing behind DeBoer? Oh, God.
Number 27, Jonas Dansko.
Great player. Play anywhere in your lineup.
Number 39, Logan Couture.
Again, one of the best power forwards in the game.
On the bench, number 44, Mark Edward Kolesic.
Anytime somebody tells you a defenseman has to be 6'5" to be good, I point out plastic.
Number 61, Justin Braun.
Did he say prawn? It sounded like prawn.
Starting in goal tonight for
But Justin Braun is amazing. North Van, BC, baby. I'd be very, very happy to see him hold up the cup. I just blocked Joe out.
Ladies and gentlemen, last night, the world of sports and the world of...
So now they're going to talk about Muhammad Ali, which rightfully everybody has. I guess I can close with my Muhammad Ali memory. I don't really remember Muhammad Ali when he could talk. So for me, when I first started paying attention, because I didn't watch boxing as a kid, I was born in '73, so most of all these great moments occurred either when I was very little or before I was born. By the time I saw Muhammad Ali, his speech had already started to go. And it seemed sad. Because of the way Parkinson's was treated and announced, it just seemed sad. And the world seemed to be pitying Muhammad Ali. That changed over the years. We understood better the disease and that he was still alive in there. He was still completely, it's just the physical couldn't do what his brain was doing. And in terms of his mental capacity, it was still there. Had to be frustrating as hell. I remember watching the movie. I think the movie was called Rumble in the Jungle, which was the democracy. The documentary regarding his fight with Foreman, which I hadn't seen. So I rented this movie on VHS because I'm old. From a video store because I'm old. Why didn't you just stream it? You're just torrent it down. Download it on the torrents. You got your torrents. Didn't have torrents back then. Torrents to us meant torrents of water coming up from the shitter, and you gotta call a plumber. So
What? I'm going. What? I don't know. Exactly. 45 seconds. It's 45 seconds longer. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
he had to do that now?
Apparently.
It's like, really, as you're leaving and telling him I don't have any time, he's like, I have to wet my hair down. There's something really, really fucking important. But I have to wet... I can't tell you with dry hair, because that would be shitty.
You never know.
I don't understand my own kids sometimes. I really don't. I've never done that. I'm going to try that sometime at work, where a boss calls me and I'm going to get shit for something. Oh, wait, I got to go wet my hair down. I understand you got like whatever. I got to go wet my hair down.
It's really boring.
If I get in trouble with the guy at the bar, same thing. You want to kick my ass? I have to go wet my hair down. I promise I'll come back for the fight. I promise.
It's gonna happen.
You can kick my ass as soon as I'm done wetting down my hair. I get my ass kicked with dry hair, it's just going to be a
It's
mess.
different if it's bad that way.
Wow. Wow. And he hasn't had the last 12 hours since he got up to wet down his hair. I'm so sorry. Are you like late getting home or?
No, that's fine. Not a big deal.
That was more than 45 seconds too.
Yeah.
Of course, for him a quick shower is 25 minutes.
Pretty much.
I don't understand it, but
Here's the key in this building. One of the loudest that I have seen in playoffs. You gotta control your emotions. You watch the warm up and Burns and almost gets wiped out by Miles. So keep the emotions in check. Do what you're doing here, getting on the body. As you mentioned, Greg, get the first one. There's a shot from Paul Martin. Really couldn't find it, but he couldn't see it on the body of front. And the Sharks have had 3 different lines on the ice. While Pittsburgh hasn't been able to change one side, they're scrambling to do so.
Why?
he took a shower. Yeah. Okay.
I'll be back in probably take me about 30 minutes, right? Around there. 30 to 45 minutes.
All right. Well, we'll go out and get food when you get back then.
All right, so when I get back, we'll go get food.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Dad.
As long as you're hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Just be careful of the heat out there.
Yeah, that's actually great.
This is coming up on 45 seconds. He had a full shower. Now he's getting his phone and his keys. Fred's still stuck here. Yeah, it does after like a minute.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It means trigger.
Okay. That is why I don't edit my videos. Right there. If I had a professional video channel. Professional video channel person is going to be going, I can't use this take. Can't use this take. For me, it's like I have to use this take because it's got my son telling his friend, it's like, we gotta go. Just a sec. I gotta go wet my hair. How's a shower? It was funny because he's running his hair up, and I'm hearing the shower running. I'm thinking, wait a minute, it's not the fucking tap. That's the shower. If you're gonna wet your hair, no, you just need the tap, don't you? All right, Muhammad Ali. So I watched Rumble in the Jungle, which is, of course, you know, he meets George Foreman, and George Foreman I knew from his comeback, and I knew George Foreman is a really nice guy and a family guy, and all his kids are named George, even the girls, and that's fine. Whatever. It's kind of weird, but whatever. But that movie showed me why Muhammad Ali was the smartest athlete ever. I think he gets a lot of terminology thrown at him, the greatest athlete ever, and in the beginning he was. But what made him last was his intelligence. He knew before a match what his strengths and his weaknesses were. And with George Foreman, he knew, if I spar with this guy right up front, I'm dead. If I throw knuckles with George Foreman, I'm going down in about the 3rd round. Foreman was a fucking beast. So he just took it. Right against the ropes. Took it. All those blows hit him in the side. Hit him in the gut. Side of the head. Grazing blows. Nothing that's going to knock him out. Take that punishment all night. And he did. And then he won the match. And it really shows that in terms of intelligence and in terms of physicality, when you're a young kid, your physicality keeps you up here. But if your intelligence is down here, as you get older, but man, if you're smart and you're physical too, you can play till you're a lot older. And that's why Jágr's still in the NHL. The problem is, once you reach the playoffs, the speed gets cranked up again, and Jágr just can't do it. Can't. So, that fucking clock is still dinging. I don't know what song it's playing or why the fuck it's playing a song. I didn't even know that clock played a song. I don't know what my son did on his way out the door. I have to go take him for dinner when he gets back. So, rather than listen to that play for the next half an hour and take him to... Is it stopping? Or just getting ready for the next verse? It's like a music box, but just winds itself. Rather than just end up taking him to Sev, which is where he's going to end up, I have to listen to that fucking thing. I'm going to try to take him to Triple O's, but I got to kill that, which means I got to kill this. And I'm at 37 minutes, so peace. And it's still 0-0, 15 minutes left in the first. I don't see Pittsburgh winning this tonight, but God, I hope I'm wrong.